Defeating traffic is the ultimate boss battle. Even the most powerful humans in the world cannot defeat traffic. This quote from Elon Musk describes the goals of the Boring Company, a company that hopes to be the future of transportation, by building and operating networks of underground car tunnels, which it claims will revolutionize how people get around cities. A closer look at the company, however, shows a record of over-promising and under-delivering. But perhaps most importantly, the Boring Company seems uninterested in building infrastructure that will benefit society as a whole. It begs the question, is the Boring Company really on the brink of revolutionizing transportation? Let's find out. The Boring Company began in 2016, a side project of billionaire Elon Musk, who resolved to create an engineering solution to what he calls the limitations of two-dimensional transportation networks. The idea is to create 3D networks of road tunnels. Think tunnels 20 to 30 layers deep beneath cities, making essentially an underground highway traversed by electric bus-like vehicles. And to make these networks viable, the company aims to make the tunnel construction process seamless, fast, and cheap. This is theoretically achieved through a number of strategies, like digging 14-foot diameter tunnels, which are narrower than current standards. The tunnels themselves are created by a tunnel boring machine that's small, powerful, and fast. This machine begins and ends its work at the ground level, eliminating the standard practice of lowering a boring machine in and out of the ground via pits that must be excavated. Furthermore, the Boring Company's machine can tunnel on the front end and install prefabricated concrete tunnel walls on the back end, using one machine to create a finished tunnel. And the tunnels themselves are meant for electric vehicles only, which reduces requirements for ventilation, a major component of current tunnels. These tunnels are meant to be the building blocks of the company's loop and hyperloop systems. Loop, geared toward short-range trips within cities, and hyperloop, geared toward long-range intercity travel. While the Boring Company's technology is interesting, they've consistently overpromised and underdelivered on their projects. In 2017, the company began to announce a series of ambitious projects, including a tunnel in West LA that would mimic the route of the 405, as well as a tunnel in Chicago that would take travelers from O'Hare International Airport downtown. There was a lot of buzz about these projects, and the company dazzled the public with conceptual images showing fleets of self-driving cars zooming through the tunnels, traveling at high speeds on what the company dubbed electric sleds, and showing concepts of elevators that would carry vehicles from street level down to the tunnels. Yet for all the hype, the projects never moved much further than conceptual stages. The LA project ran into permitting hurdles, particularly in areas where it ran beneath public property, like the 405. Musk promised a 2-mile test segment to be operational by 2018. Yet at the time of the commitment, the state had only permitted a section of tunnel equaling 1/5 of a mile, and lawsuits from nearby residents continued to derail the project. Quietly in 2018, the company announced the project would be abandoned. The Chicago project was similarly met with opposition. Citizens and leaders were wary of a $1 billion piece of infrastructure that would seemingly only benefit business travelers seeking express service from the airport to downtown, with ticket prices proposed around $30. And the company failed to meet its obligations to move the project forward. It was delayed and finally scrapped. Yet despite these failures, the company continues to aggressively pursue new projects, including a $49 million project in Las Vegas. Contracted by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, the company was tasked with delivering a system that would transport convention goers in between 3 underground stations in a 0.8-mile route through the gigantic convention complex. But eventually, the project would expand to include miles of tunnels connecting over 50 stations at hotels, casinos, and other Las Vegas destinations. Early drawings submitted to the city included half-baked design elements, like staircases with no visible support. But despite this early skepticism, the Las Vegas project would see the light of day. When it opened, What was supposed to be a triumphant showcase for the company was seen by many as extremely underwhelming. The stations were bare bones, resembling underground parking garages, and the vehicles were scaled back. Remember the images of driverless bus-like vehicles traveling on electric sleds? These were changed to normal Teslas with human drivers. What was touted as a model transportation project of the future now just looked like some Teslas in a tunnel. Piling onto the criticism, riders reported slow speeds, and some even posted videos of traffic slowdowns, the very thing that the company was created to eliminate. Despite underwhelming reception, the company remains bullish on its future. In early 2022, it raised $675 million in funding, including major investments from real estate firms like Brookfield, which owns over 100 malls in the United States. This is a hint that investors may be betting on a more scaled-back application of the company's projects, as opposed to the larger-scale visions the company had promoted to the public. And though additional projects have been announced in San Jose, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Texas, the company has done nothing to show that their tunnels are an efficient and cost-effective way to move a lot of people. That crown still likely belongs to a 100-plus-year-old technology, the subway. The Lexington Avenue line in New York, for example, moves 1.2 million riders daily, as opposed to the 15,000 passengers a day that the Las Vegas Loop moves. It's clear that the two technologies are not even comparable. But maybe that's the point. Musk has expressed disdain for public transit, questioning why people would want to share space with, quote, a bunch of random strangers, one who might even be a serial killer. This is one of many hints that he is disinterested in building infrastructure to benefit society at large. Look closer at this map for the company's ill-fated West LA project, and you'll see that it includes a private stop at Elon Musk's residence. This is perhaps the clearest demonstration of the Boring Company's true intention, which is to create privatized networks of premium and exclusive infrastructure, meant to specifically cater to moneyed elites like Musk, or convention-goers in Vegas, or first-class travelers in Chicago. The Boring Company comes from a perspective of elite projection, which is a concept that transit planner Jarrett Walker has described as the belief among relatively fortunate and influential people that what they find convenient or attractive is good for society as a whole. In this context, the Boring Company may very well end up being successful in its mission to defeat traffic. But will its infrastructure ever benefit ordinary citizens or society at large? Probably not. We'll still be stuck in traffic.